Welcome, welcome. Hello, guys. Welcome to the Get Fit with Me, expanding your physical and mental fitness group. This group is for individuals who are looking to expand both their physical and mental fitness while helping and supporting others with similar goals all along the way. Hello, Karen. Hello, Tanya. Oh, I got to make sure I'm muted over here because you don't need me here in my back. Okay, we're good. Didn't want Facebook coming at us. We've all been there. So last week I realized I didn't introduce our new members. So I have 9 new members to introduce over the last 2 weeks. We have Rachel R, Rachel H, Holly R, Jamie P, Whitney D, Meg S, Millie H, Julia S, and Kat B. Holy moly. I apologize for those of you who did not get the introduction last week, and you were wondering where it was, because I've been doing this for about 2 months now, introing any of our newbies into the group. So welcome, happy to have you here. We have Danielle popping on, yay. So it's Thanksgiving week. Let's go around the room. For those of you that are live on Facebook, let me know by dropping hashtag live, or if you're watching the replay, drop hashtag replay and answer these questions as we follow along. Karen, let's start with you. Who are you? Where are you from? And what is your Thanksgiving Day tradition?
I am Karen Wheatley from Rising Sun, Maryland. And I don't know, we have an evolving Thanksgiving tradition. Now we go to my husband's, one of his sisters and brother-in-law's houses, and we usually spend the night on Wednesday night and just play games Wednesday night and get up and watch the parade on Thursday and eat, watch football, watch a corny movie, the whole thing.
I love it. Yeah. And how do you usually feel the day of Thanksgiving or the day after Thanksgiving?
Great.
Good. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah.
Good. And I'm happy to hear that.
It's like a favorite holiday because it's got all the great foods of the holiday season, but none of the stress of gift giving and all that. So.
Well, thank you for sharing. Yeah. Thank you for being here on Tuesday. Weird day and weird time for me. I went upstairs to make myself some lunch and I was like, oh no, it's not. It's Tuesday. You got to get back downstairs. Oh, Tanya, how about you? Who are you? Where are you from? And what is your Thanksgiving Day tradition?
Name's Tanya Wemhoff. I'm in Clarks, Nebraska, and we usually celebrate it with my husband's niece. My husband makes the turkey and dressing. I made the pumpkin pies today. I would be happier, but my son has COVID, but it's not bad or anything. So they can't visit. So my grandsons are bummed. But it's still going to be fun.
Yep.
And Tanya, how do you usually feel on Thanksgiving Day and the day after Thanksgiving?
The day after, I'm tired because I've had to do cleanup.
Yes. I picked up my nanny kids from school yesterday. And I was talking to the one little girl and I was like, oh, are you excited? You only have 2 more days of school this week. She goes, I only have 1. I'm like, what? Kids are done on Tuesday now. And the little boy's teacher told him that the reason they only had school on Monday and Tuesday is because Wednesday is for the preparation and the traveling. Thursday's the holiday. And then you need Friday to recoup. I'm like, okay. I may have to start to incorporate this.
I'm doing it all wrong.
I know, me too.
That's awesome.
Me too.
Danielle, how about you? I see you're joining us from your car. Who are you? Where are you from? And what is your Thanksgiving Day tradition?
My name is Danielle Graber. I am actually in Anacortes, Washington today, but normally in Cedar Woolley. So I have like a Thanksgiving week essentially, because Thanksgiving technically started for me yesterday. And with my husband's golf team. And then on Thanksgiving Day, we kind of bebop around between my family in the morning and then my husband's family in the afternoon. So we are the selected travelers because our kids are the oldest and it's easier for us to just get up and go. So.
And how do you usually feel the day of Thanksgiving or the day after?
I love Thanksgiving. It's my favorite holiday, and it finally feels like the holiday season once Thanksgiving comes. So I get really excited.
Well, thank you for sharing and being here. And we have Millie who just jumped on. Perfect time for introductions.
Okay.
Who are you? Where are you from? And what is your Thanksgiving Day tradition?
Millie Hines from Hazlet, Michigan. And typically we have lots of people here and lots of food. I mean, the whole day is around food and I do love it. I love cooking the turkey. I think for weeks I have magazines piled, 12 inches, reading through different methods and ways to cook and what to cook. This year, I'm kind of super excited because we're traveling on Thanksgiving and not going to have Thanksgiving dinner. So I'm glad not to consume $3,500 calories in one day. And that's just for the dinner part.
And so this year's a little different, but normally, how do you feel during Thanksgiving or the day after?
Well, I usually do the turkey trot. So I've been doing that for the last several years and I love that. So I always start my day that way. And I feel pretty good because I did that. But probably not so great the next day because of all the food I ate. But yeah, it's a usually busy time and, I'm usually decorated all for Christmas and, but now we're going away. So we didn't decorate and, we're just excited to get to our destination so I can do all that.
Well, thank you for being here. And we have Maria who jumped on. Hello.
Hi.
Do you want to share with us who you are, where you're from, and what your Thanksgiving Day tradition is?
Yeah, so Maria Patino. I am from like what area? Is that what you meant?
Yes. Or Michigan, wherever
Yeah,
the amount you want to share.
Yep, Lansing. I work at the Y. So she mentioned the turkey trot. We didn't do it last year, of course, because of COVID, but I talked my son into doing it with me, so that'll be nice. But how do I feel after Thanksgiving? I like my carbs. I'm a potato person, but and I apologize for missing the last couple of meetings, but we're all bringing a dish. And so my dishes are fruit salad, a regular salad. The green bean casserole, of course, is not the best, but my sister and brother-in-law are on Weight Watchers. So we're all kind of trying to watch the diet a little bit. But those mashed potatoes, boy, and those rolls and butter, I'm like, but it is one day out of, and then the holidays. So I'm going to just do that turkey trot. I've got to do your videos on the exercise. And I apologize again there for not getting all the, onto the meetings. But I think I've got to start before the major holidays. And hopefully that will help.
Well, thank you for being here and for sharing. We have Kat that is on Facebook. Hello. We have Kathy Toby there, and we have Cherry. And she likes to watch the parade in bed with her kids and come home and watch movies throughout the day. Cherry, I love that. Sounds so relaxing. So I'm going to share 6 things and a bonus, because if any of you guys have come to any of my classes, I use the word bonus a lot, and sometimes you like it and sometimes you don't. It's always fun for me. So I do have a bonus tip today to share, but the first one I'm going to share with you guys is just enjoy the day. So number 1, enjoy the day. Who cares what you eat? Who cares what you drink? It is taking you maybe 2 weeks to decide you wanted to make a change. Maybe it's taking you 2 years. Maybe it's taking you 20 years. One day of fun and enjoyment with family and enjoying those foods that are not around all the time is not going to set you back progress, and it's not going to ruin your habits. So the first thing I want you guys to remember that it's one day, or maybe it's two, or mine's going to lead into a 7-day vacation, but it's not something to stress over. It's not something to overthink. And what I want you guys, I have an activity that I want you guys to try on Thanksgiving Day is when you wake up, I want you to think, how do you want this day to go? How do you want to feel? Do you want to feel happy? Do you want to feel excited? Do you want to feel supported, loved? What types of feelings do you want to get from whatever your tradition is that you just shared? Write it down on a sticky note, type it in your phone, send yourself a text, or post it in the group. I'd love that as well. At the end of the day, when you're coming home or going to bed, reflect on your day. Did you feel loved? Did you feel supported? Did you have the most amazing time? Was the turkey the most moist turkey you've ever had? Were those mashed potatoes so buttery that you wouldn't have asked for anything else? And think, would you have traded that experience in that day for waking up feeling lighter tomorrow? Would you trade it to wake up and knowing you didn't get to experience all that amazing stuff? And if you would, then we'll have a different conversation. But if you know that those experiences are so much more important, enjoy the day, guilt-free. I'm giving you permission. I'm not saying you need to eat 3 pumpkin pies. There is something in there called moderation, but enjoy it. So first, overall, if you take anything out of this today, I want you to enjoy Thanksgiving. It's a time for love, to be thankful for things. And I just want you guys to live in the moment of being there and not in, I need to make sure I count my food. I need to make sure I get my water in. Those are all bonuses. Any questions? Okay, we're done. I'll see you guys next week. No.
We got 5 more.
So number 2, this is kind of where we're going to get into some things that if you want to think about little things you can do throughout your holiday, throughout the Thanksgiving day, water is going to be a super important thing. When we cook for ourselves, we know what goes into it. We know how much butter, how much sugar, how much salt is being used. So think about all of that and think about when we are not hydrated. We usually hang on to it and we bloat, and then our clothes get tighter, and all of that starts to happen midway through the day. So if you can think about taking your water bottle with you, yes, even if it is this bright blue color and it doesn't match your ensemble for the day, take it with you and just have it wherever you lay your bag or your coat, so you know you have water accessible if you want or need it. Staying up on that hydration throughout the day. So our tradition has been to go to the Lions game. Last 2 years, it's been different, but usually we go to Lions game. You wake up, you have champagne and Bloody Marys, and you eat tailgate food, and you go to the game, and you indulge in a few more beverages, and then you come home, and you eat Thanksgiving food, and by the end of the night, I'm very large and full and bloated. I'm gonna be honest. I've learned to pack my water in the car so that before I go into the game, I make sure I have one. And then I pack a second for on the way home from the game. Because having it rather than like, I just don't have it, but I want it. Having the water. Nobody wants to go through your fourth grade aunt's cupboard looking for a water cup. Like if you bring it with you, you can fill it up as you need to. Water is going to help with that bloat and just kind of flush everything out throughout the day when we start to feel that crummy feeling midway through, when those standing jeans are for sure going to be standing jeans for the rest of the day. Any questions? Lynn, so happy to have you here. Let's move on to sleep. Oh, one last thing about water. Water helps you sleep better at night after a day of indulging. If you haven't learned that already, start doing that. You will feel better and you will sleep better throughout the night if you've indulged during the day, whether it's food or beverages. Just flushes out, you will sleep better. So moving into sleep. Do you guys sleep good during the holidays? Who sleeps good? Raise your hand. Danielle?
I don't sleep good 365 days of the year. So,
What are your goals in this program is going to be to have some better sleep?
yeah.
If we know that. Okay. Is it worse during the holiday season, would you say? Or about the same?
I think it's probably worse, but that's self-induced because Mike always gets up to go hunting like at 3:30 or 4. And so then I'm awake and then I'm like, oh, I'll just watch a Hallmark movie while I'm up.
Anybody else? How do you usually feel with sleep in the holidays? Feel good, bad? Yeah, doesn't really change.
I'm restless and I'm not a good sleeper either.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been restless this last week just because we're getting ready to go away. So I watched 2 Hallmark movies last night until almost 4 o'clock this morning. So,
Goodness.
yeah. But
Tanya, how about-
otherwise, I sleep well, I think, during the holidays or, yeah.
Perfect. Tanya, how about you? Good sleeper, bad sleeper, worse during the holidays, or about the same?
I'm a pretty good sleeper, except I have to get up and go to the bathroom. So then sometimes it's hard to fall back to sleep. But when I was under a lot of stress, I do have a routine I do if I can't fall back to sleep. So the only sometimes I have an issue is I can't shut my mind off. But otherwise, I'm pretty good.
Good. And we have Kathy Toby saying retired, so not much change for sleep. Have you guys heard that bad sleep correlates to weight gain? You guys ever heard that?
Mm-hmm.
You are a poor sleeper or you do not sleep very much, you are more likely to eat more, which when you eat more, you're going to start to gain weight.
Mhm.
So water is important, but so is our sleep aspect. Danielle, would you agree on that? You were muted and it looked like you were eating. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
I was. No, yes, I 1000% agree. It's science is also backing that up.
And good sleeper, bad sleeper.
Me?
Yeah.
I would say I'm a pretty good sleeper. I think when I do go to sleep, I sleep really hard. I agree, especially now I've been mandating my sleep because I know that I can stay up until, midnight and get up at 4 o'clock if I allowed myself to, but I know that I experience the weight gain and I experience restlessness and crankiness and all the things when I don't get sleep and I get way hungry. So I have looked into that and I also agree. I agree with exactly what you said. It is a thing. It definitely does happen. Your body needs to get energy somewhere. So if you're not sleeping, you're eating.
Very true statement right there. And so the later you're up, the more you're going to eat. And even around the holidays, when you have more of those higher calorie foods or those richer foods in your house, you're going to gravitate towards those. You're not going to gravitate towards that 50-50 spinach kale mixture that's sitting in the fridge wilting away on us. No, you're going to reach for the good stuff, the stuff that tastes good. So getting good sleep and managing, whether that's going to bed earlier, sleeping in 10 minutes later, whether it's tracking or even just, did I have to push the snooze this morning? There is a science to when you go to bed and when you wake up in your REM cycle. If you wake up in a deep sleep, you're going to feel groggy. My watch is super cool. It gives me a 15-minute buffer and it wakes me up within that 15-minute buffer of me being in the right sleep level. So with time, you start to learn that on your own. Something else, like Danielle mentioned, is how many of us are crankier when we're tired?
Mm-hmm.
Have we all seen that angry person at Kohl's? Running around, all mad. They probably have a little bit of stress and a little bit of lack of sleep. So family time can be stressful as well. So knowing that, we want to make sure that we have good sleep so we don't go, somebody doesn't ask us, oh, how's work going? And we all of a sudden have a mood swing and snap at them for no reason. Because we have all done it at some point. We've done the, oh, you're just asking me something, and my response was not what I was anticipating. Water and sleep. If you can focus on two things, sleep good the night before Thanksgiving to get yourself prepped, and drink water throughout Thanksgiving. If you can do two things, those would be my top two, because they're easy and they don't really consume your day. Tanya, I love all the water drinking right now. Assuming it's water. Everybody take a sip of water if you have water near you. Number 4, we're going to go into do not go to the party hungry. Have any of you guys woke up and said, oh, we're having a really big dinner tonight. I'm just going to have some coffee and hold off. Yeah. I'm a hangry person. You can ask my boyfriend. Danielle and I spent a week together. I'd say it was pretty good during that time frame. But I know I get hangry, and as soon as I get to that point, there is no, is that a want or is it a need for my body? It is a give me now. So when you wake up Thanksgiving morning, unless you are going to go have breakfast, usually Thanksgiving is a afternoon dinner thing, unless you got some different tradition, which I love brunch. I'm all for brunch, but give yourself a balanced meal, at least one balanced meal right when you wake up. It's going to give you two things. It's going to satisfy you so that when you do get to the delicious food, you have a little bit more control over your body and your hunger. And in addition, it's going to give you one balanced meal in the day so that you can check it off saying I had a balanced meal that day. And remember, when I say balanced, I mean a carb, a fat, and a protein. Potato, egg, avocado, whatever that breakfast looks like. Something doesn't have to be huge, just something to get in your stomach other than coffee or champagne or Bloody Mary, whatever you drink Thanksgiving morning. Get some substance in you so that when you get to that bigger meal, your body's not craving and starving for it. You've balanced yourself out throughout your day. Questions, comments?
Yes, ma'am. Good job.
Thank you. Okay, number 5. So you guys have probably heard me talk about water, sleep, balanced meals. Anyone guess what the 4th thing I'm going to share with you right now is? What is something else that I talk about a lot?
Movement.
Movement. Yes. Okay. Turkey trotters, you will be a family that I never wish to marry into. I love the thought of it. I don't want to run a turkey trot on Thanksgiving mornings. But movement of any sort throughout your day is perfect. Maria, you do yours right in the morning for the turkey trot. That is perfect. You've gotten in, you feel good going into your day. Some of us, I don't like to get up and do that on a holiday. That's my rest day. So instead, I make it a point to, when I'm at gatherings, to do more standing instead of sitting, so that I'm moving around. Because we all know, as soon as we eat something and then we stay stationary in that table, at the chair at the table, we all of a sudden start to feel, oh, I can't move, and we start to feel tired. So I make it a point to just stand more, whether I'm walking in and out of rooms. And then depending on where we are, when we go to Lions games, we walk from the tailgate spot to the game. We walk around the corridor, we walk back. There is movement involved. But when we are at Christmas or something where we're in a house, I try to get outside and get just 3 to 5 minutes of fresh air. I'm just going to walk to the car and back. I have to get something from the car. Nope, I need to get some fresh air and get a breather and allow myself to have some space away from things, because it can be a lot to be around a lot of people at once too. So it's good for your body to move everything through, but it's also good for our minds to get a break, to have some peace to ourselves for even just a minute or two. Are you guys, does anybody else usually work out or exercise on Thanksgiving Day? Danielle, you do?
I do in the morning, because that's kind of like my mental set for hanging out with family. But we also, with the whole walking around thing, and this was actually something that my husband's family always does. So right after we eat, the entire family goes for a walk, and they're huge Frisbee throwers. So everyone has like a Frisbee in their car. And so we all bring like a Frisbee or something, and I mean, literally like 30 of us are just like taking the entire road. And we go and walk for like 30 minutes, just up and around different houses and stuff. And that generally is a really, and I've never done that with my family, but I noticed a huge, and then we're ready for dessert afterwards, of course, but then it's like, you know what I mean? But it's at least a nice good break, and everybody gets involved with it too, which is kind of nice. So that's not just you walking out and being like, hey, peace out, or you know, I agree with that, leaving too, but it's nice to be able to break up the day with a nice walk with everybody too.
I like the idea of everybody going with.
Mhm.
I've never, these last 2 years, or last year and this year, we're going to my boyfriend's stepbrother's house, and we're outside by the bonfire playing cornhole. So there's movement happening, but it's all like, okay, you have your partners over here. It's never like a collective thing. I like the collectiveness of that.
Mhm.
Does anybody else do any sort of movement, whether it's intentional or not, on Thanksgiving, or do you guys kind of just stick to your tradition and move on to the next day?
We kind of do the same thing. I do that turkey trot. And then, you know, we go for a walk after we eat dinner, getting ready for dessert or second dinner or whatever we call it. And it always feels good to do that. But this year is going to be different because we're driving. So we're going to be in the car and we'll get out and stretch, but that's about it.
You'll park the furthest parking spot away at the restaurant.
There you go. I'll do that when we go to the bathroom. There you go.
Karen or Tanya, what do you guys do?
I feed cows.
That's active.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's we get up and do chores in the morning and do chores at night. So sometimes when I used to go to Thanksgiving at my mom and dad's with my brothers and their family, it was a race to see who would do chores first, because you know, all the family drama dynamics. It was like, I'll go do chores, you guys stay here and I'll do that. But it's great to do it because, like you said, you're out in the fresh air, and it's just awesome, and it's quiet, and I love it.
Mhm.
I love that because you get to do it at both times of your day. You get to start and end your day with it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep.
Tanya, how about you?
Basically, I have to make sure that my desk that's on the kitchen table right here is dismantled.
Hmm.
So I have a place to eat.
That's a lot of work right there. I don't know what your setup looks like, but any home office in the kitchen seems like a lot of work to move.
Yeah. And then other than that, just making sure that I'll have all my prep done ahead of time because my husband does the turkey and everything else. So we just sit around and relax, maybe have some breakfast, and then everybody comes over about 12:30.
Nice. I love that. And we don't do a lot of movement. We did more when we went to the games. And before Mike and I started dating, unless I was little, I wasn't running around with all the other cousins. I'm the oldest. I'm 4 years older, and then there's my sister, and then they're all younger than her. So it was an age gap. I wasn't crawling on the floor with the babies playing with rattles. So we've never been like the huge go out and move family, which is kind of interesting because that's all my life revolves around now is exercise, and I love it. So I also used to be, little sidetrack here, I played soccer. I was the goalie, but if it wasn't within my arm's reach, I wasn't getting it. That was how much I did not want to move. So things change, and we like to do new things. So Kathy likes to walk. Yeah, Kathy said she likes to walk over there on Facebook. Happy to see you guys are still there. Number 6, create a plan. You guys know what your traditions look like. It may not look exactly from year to year, but you have an idea. Create a plan before you go. Do you have the proper shoes if you go to take a walk? If you want to do you have the proper attire? Do you have your water bottle? Are you dressed appropriately? Do you have all your stuff? Do you have the food? Whether it's planning for you specifically or the holiday itself, make a plan. Doesn't have to be something you follow, but just make sure you think through the day before you get there, because it will help when red flag pops up or Aunt Joe over here starts complaining about something. We are able to still navigate through things and not feel completely off guard if we can prep ourselves in advance. I never really thought about this till I started nannying. And before we do anything with the kids days in advance, we'd say, hey, we're going to go to the park next time I'm here. And we would prep them. And I always, in the beginning, I thought that's interesting. Like, we don't prep ourselves. And now the more I've been with them for 5 years now, and the preparation is key for all of us to when we are looking at moving into a new environment. If I'm going to a new thing, I like to have as much information as I can to prep myself to allow me to be who I authentically am with those people. I'll do stuff off the whim, but I'm a very planned and organized person. And when I don't have any sort of plan, it doesn't always go well for me. I struggle. So even some little plan of, I have my water bottle, makes me feel comfortable in the situation that I'm in. So have a plan and a positive mindset. It's going to be a good day. Food's going to be amazing. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to play games. It's probably going to be freezing in Michigan, and Millie's probably going to be somewhere warm, and we're not. And then your little bonus. And I only throw this in here because I know times have changed. Growing up, we used to go to holidays and you used to dress in like tights. I used to wear tights and a dress, I'm pretty sure. And like your little shoes. You used to dress up really, really like nice, like you're going to church. As time has gone on, we can all probably agree that it's gotten more relaxed when you go to family events. You show up sometimes in your sweatshirt and sweatpants. Sometimes you show up in jeans and the attire has changed. If you are going to be eating food, whether you are 100 pounds or 300 pounds, your stomach grows as you eat. When you put something in your body, your stomach is going to grow. So if when you put on those pants and you're getting ready to walk out the door and they feel tight before, and you can already feel that they're going to be standing only pants for the remainder of the day, probably go and get yourself an extra set to change into. Because as soon as we feel that constricting, or that tight dress that we're wearing is all of a sudden starting to bow out in the stomach because we've ate and we've drank like normal, and we start to feel uncomfortable and self-conscious, have something comfortable to change into. It's so much more common to do that, and we will feel more comfortable in ourselves if we are comfortable in what we are wearing. So even if it's at the end of the night for your car ride home, whatever is comfortable for you in your situation, I always pack an oversized sweatshirt to throw on by the end of the night because I just want to be comfy. I'll look cute in the beginning. I'll wear real clothes, but by the end of the night, I'm in leggings and a big sweatshirt because that's what I'm comfortable in. That's what I want to hang out with people in. And the people I'm around are okay with that. It's all different for our situations. Some of you may still may go to traditions where we all dress up really nice still. And you may not have that option, and you may feel like an outsider for that, but still pack and give yourself the option to be comfortable if possible. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've had way too many standing only pants. Don't invest in those.
You're supposed, there's like I don't know where I saw this not too long ago. It's your clothes are supposed to fit you, not you fit into your clothes kind of thing. It's like, wear what's comfortable. Don't try to fit into like a square in a circle, thing. It's just wear, what you like, what Morgan said. It's your clothes are going to fit extra tight regardless, because there's so much salt and there's so much sugar and there's so much stuff in the food, whether you're eating green bean casserole or a Caesar salad. There's just extra stuff, especially if somebody else made it. And just be comfortable so that you can enjoy the day.
And you're not constantly like fidgeting with your clothes.
Yes.
Everybody has done that. Like I've done that too. You wear clothes that you think you should wear and you spend the whole time like fixing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My husband used to make fun of me because he'd be like, is it time to go unbutton your pants kind of thing? Because I would do it. I'd wear the tightest clothes and then I'd sit in the car and just fully unbutton my pants and my stomach would just be like, whoa, you know, and that's, he's like, your food baby's showing. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Sometimes I would do that on purpose, just so I wouldn't eat a lot. And, you know, wear the tighter clothes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always work, especially on Thanksgiving. So I wear the loosest, most comfortable.
Good.
Yeah.
Cherry also made a good point. She said, make sure your spouse knows the plan too. So if you guys are going somewhere together and you have an idea of when you want to leave, is what I'm envisioning is the thing that comes up for me is we need to leave at this time. But if we don't communicate that with the person we are going with, whether it's our significant other or our children, it can lead to that miscommunication, that frustration. So if you have a plan, make sure to share it with the other people who are with you. So you're all on the same page and able to respond to things that come up to you. Cherry, great insight there, because we forget to, I make plans all the time. I have conversations with myself all the time. They don't always get related to the right person. So I have shared 7 things today. We've shared dress for comfort, positive mindset and a plan, get up and move when you can, go to the party, don't go to the party hungry, get adequate sleep, water intake, so stay hydrated, and then enjoy the day. Out of all of those, I want to go around the room and you guys keep dropping in the chat. You guys are doing awesome over there. Which one have you struggled with most in the past? And what are you looking forward to implementing into Thursday? And it can be any of them. It can be, I'm going to pack a pair of leggings. Perfect. That is a great implementation. Like pick one of those things. What are you going to implement into Thursday? What have you struggled with in the past that you may want help with, or you've just struggled with? And then what's your win for the week? Because I always like to know. Who wants to start? Who wants to be the brave one?
I'll start.
Perfect.
Since I didn't have a very good night's sleep last night, and I feel like my brain just doesn't quit. Somebody said that, and I thought that's probably it. I'm not worrying about anything because I feel like we're pretty much ready. But I want to get a better night's sleep. I chose this week to start recording what I'm eating, and I think that was good. However, it was probably the worst week to do that. No, I mean, I'm going to be traveling and, you know, it's hard because we eat more snacks in the car, but I prepared. So the win is that like I prepared little egg muffins because we're leaving early in the morning, and I have cheese sticks, and I have, I buy this smoked salmon. So I put those in our backpack and bought apples, and so that's kind of my win. And I am recording what I'm eating. So I think I'm consciously making a plan that's going to be more successful on the drive and keep us more alert than going to McDonald's or Burger King or wherever.
I love that. And you're prepared for your trip, which is important. I just learned something recently. I haven't tried it yet, but because you said sleep and your mind's always running, so I've heard people say keep a notepad by the bed or pull out your phone and set your timer for 3 minutes and just do a brain dump. Once that 3 minutes goes off, or once your list is complete, that's your permission to be done thinking of things for the night. And for the people who have tried this, it's worked really successfully. I'm going to start trying this. I just learned it. I haven't had time to implement it yet.
Yeah.
But write everything down, get it out of your head, and let that be your clear slate as you get into bed. So feel free to try that. And if you do, let us know. Another thing to record. But when we record things, we learn our patterns. And
Yes.
until we know our patterns, we can't figure out how to manipulate them and adjust them.
Mhm.
Right.
Any other comments, Millie, or do you feel complete today?
I feel complete. I'm glad I'm able to get on. I know our 4 o'clock is here, but my husband's taking care of them.
Yes, perfect. Tanya, how about you? What have you struggled with out of these? What are you going to try to implement this week or on Thanksgiving Day? And what's your win?
I'm definitely going to do more water, although I took the challenge on recording, and I am recording, and I'm not doing too bad. But I'm actually recording everything. Because I figure I'm in there, I might as well add. Although my sleep is off because I have my number of hours sleep for Sunday night and not Saturday night. So I'm like a day off, but oh well. It's
Me
close.
too. I did the same thing.
And now that you say that, I didn't even think about that. Yep. Okay. Note to fix for next year. Got it.
What do
Except
you mean by that? I don't understand what you said, and both of you said it.
well,
Your
you know,
sleep is off a
on the
day.
link was Sunday, it says 10:21, and then the sleep. Well, I put down how long I slept Sunday night. So
Mhm.
then, but that's because I recorded everything that Sunday night, and I probably should, but I couldn't remember what was Saturday was. So I don't know if it's something to change. It could be just, you know, I'm off.
And Millie, it's that Excel sheet or that Google Doc that was in your welcome email to the Commit to Your Health program. So
Okay.
in there's the
I
Google
guess I
Doc,
didn't print that. Okay.
and you can track a bunch of things in there. One of them is the sleep that I created. So that's what Tanya and Karen are both talking about.
Okay. Thank you.
I tried tracking Millie on paper, and I was terrible. I'm going to try it on a computer. It may still be terrible, but we'll find out.
And Tanya, what is your win for the week?
That I'm actually recording. For me,
Proud of
that's-
you.
Yep.
And do you feel complete, or is there anything that you need
No,
more?
I'm complete.
You're complete? Perfect. Maria, how about you? What have you struggled with out of this list or on Thanksgiving? What are you implementing? And then what's your win for the week?
Setting a plan has always been difficult for me, whether it be the menus for the day, what am I going to eat? I've relied on fast food a lot lately, trying to make a little bit healthier choices when I do that. But I feel the win is I'm drinking more water, probably not as much as I should. Is it 120 ounces? Is that what I understand we're supposed to drink?
So next
Or-
week, I will be letting you guys know how much you're supposed to drink. This
Okay.
week is just figuring out how much you actually drink.
Okay.
So it is supposed to be anywhere from 90 to 120 for women, but it can also be half your body weight in ounces.
Mhm.
Depends on, bye Tanya.
Bye. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you for being here. Happy Thanksgiving. So it all kind of depends. If you only weigh 100 pounds, you need more than 50 ounces of water. If you weigh 500 pounds, you don't need 350 ounces of water or 250. So like there is a little bit of fluctuation in there. So it's always good to think 90 to 120 as the generic.
Okay. Yeah.
So when is you're drinking more water, you've struggled with plans, but you're trying to be more mindful when you're making
Yeah,
food decisions.
I definitely think recording when I'm eating is definitely a plus. I mean, and I feel I've cut back on my nighttime snacks. And if I do, like I'd have grapes on the counter so I can just grab grapes, or where my go-to used to be bowl cereal or toast or, you know, something more heavy. It's, you know, fruit or so trying.
Somebody
Need to
told
put more movement in, but that'll come one thing at a time.
it will come. And that's the whole point of changing your habits.
Mhm.
Anything that we got to now, it just didn't happen overnight. It was small things over and over that created that bad habit. It's going to take small things over and over to get us back to a good habit or to get us in a place that we feel comfortable. So your water is perfect. That is the first step. And the water is the easiest to get down, honestly. As soon as I get in a rhythm for about a week, it's mindless to me because I've been doing it for so long. And balancing your foods is a little bit more challenging. So the water I find is the easiest to commit to and to stay committed to, because it's, as long as you carry it with you all the time and it's your best friend, you will never want to carry around a heavy one. If you've seen Valisa's in the group, hers is like 100 ounces. I'm not carrying that thing around full. It's not happening.
I did pack that to take with to Florida. So when I have that in my house, I drink it all throughout the day. When I pass the counter in the kitchen, I'll just take, and then I love it because you can see how much you're drinking. But I'm bringing it with, and I'm going to fill that every day and hopefully get to it. So.
Perfect. Water is important, especially as you're driving. Maybe
Yeah.
not for the driver who has to stop every 10 minutes.
Right.
Karen, how about, and Maria, are you complete? Or do you
I'm
have
good.
any questions?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's, we all have to start somewhere. So I feel good about where I'm headed.
Good.
Yeah.
And this is a good support group. So is the Commit to Your Health program, that when we need that extra support, feel free to post that. Like, I'm struggling with this today. Anybody else struggling with it? Because it's very likely that one day we are all struggling with water, but until we say it out loud, we all think we're alone.
Right.
So remembering that we're not alone in any of this. A healthy lifestyle is not perfect. None of us are perfect all the time. So I have my bad days. Promise you. Karen, how about you? What have you struggled with out of this? What are you going to implement? And what is your win for the week?
So my struggle is my movement, and that is like a daily struggle because I find, because my job has me so like nuts most of the time, that I find comfort in food. And so I kind of, whenever I take a break or get up, it's like I associate feeling comfortable with going to get something to eat. And then I just basically get up from this desk and go and sit in the living room or something with food, and I feel better, because I'm taking a break from the craziness. And so, yeah. And so then when I like binge eat or whatever, I don't move, then I'm just like, I don't feel good. I'm not going to move anymore, blah, blah, blah. So movement is my struggle during the holidays and pretty much all the time, just, I don't know. It just, but like, it's one of those things that when you start moving and get moving, it's easier to keep building on it. So yeah, I don't know. It's just a mindset, but I think the more stressed I get, the more I turn to food, to just be like, food and a book. Like, that's all. I just get lost in whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's my struggle. My win, and I started out because I wanted to do something manageable my first week of committing to health. And so I said, because I'm not really a good water drinker either. So I'm like, okay, I want to do 64 ounces a day just to make sure I get in the habit of just starting to do it. This was my last glass of 64 and it's only 4:19.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
oh my
girl.
gosh. Like last night it was like 8:30. I'm like, and today I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got like loads of time before dinner. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
I love it. What from today's training conversation are you going to try to implement, whether it's on Thanksgiving Day? I know you've committed to water, but is there anything that stood out to you that you're just going to like, Thanksgiving, this is what I'm going to try to do?
No, like all of them. I mean, just
You're not going to enjoy the day.
Well, I am gonna enjoy the day. That's it. Yes. I'm enjoying the day. I'm like, well, I have to move to feed and I'm not gonna go to the party hungry because I don't ever let myself get too hungry. So, anyway,
Oh,
yeah,
I
I'm gonna
love
enjoy
it.
Karen, Karen, I know a while back I had shared with you that picture of me that is probably still on your fridge. No, it was at your old house. Remember that picture of me on your fridge that said why?
Yes.
I can send you
Mhm.
another one if you'd like.
Yeah.
As embarrassing as it is for me. It's a picture of me. I will post it if you guys want to print it or download it. Last time Karen and I had this conversation, actually not the last time, this was like months ago, we were talking about how we gravitate to food for stress. So I made a little picture with a bubble of me saying, why? So that when you open your fridge or your cabinet where you go to most, just allows you to take a second to pause. Okay, why am I opening it? Am I emotional? Am I actually hungry? Is it because it's that time of the day to eat? Is it my gap? Do I want it? Like whatever that emotion is, it's perfectly acceptable to have it. But sometimes we don't know what that emotion is. So just remembering to pause and think, it's because we're stressful. It's okay to have that emotion. It's okay to eat because of that. Because we do find comfort in food, but we need to recognize what that emotion is behind it. So if you guys would like that little photo, just drop the word photo in the comments or raise your hand here. I'll make sure to get that to you. Oh, it's nice and pretty. Think it's going like this. Great.
You know what was, I gotta share, if you're talking about a funny photo, and I have to, this is just with our group, but I was trying to get my steps in last night to reach my whatever, because you guys are killing me this week, but I went up to take a bath and I had stripped down all my clothes and I was like waiting for the water to fill and I'm like, oh, I might as well do some workouts. So I was doing a little jogging in place, not a pretty thing to do when you're buck naked in front of a
I
mirror.
love that.
But the worst thing was my husband came upstairs and he whips the door open. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm trying to get my steps in. You're not supposed to be looking at me. And I'm just jogging away.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. True love. True love.
Love
I'll
that.
say it again. Anyone who has a Fitbit who wants to join Karen and Kelly in our step challenge, Karen kicked our butt last week. 2 weeks ago at 11:58, I realized I was like 500 steps behind Karen. I got out of bed and I walked in place. And Mike was like, "Are you kidding me?" I said, I'm not losing this week. So if you want a little bit of step movement competitiveness and you have a Fitbit and you'd like to join, let me know and we can become friends and I can add you. It's just it's an extra fun thing that we can do on the side.
Don't jog naked in front of a mirror.
Love it.
Got it. Sometimes you gotta wait for time.
You gotta get your steps, man. Gotta get them. Gotta get them.
Karen, do you feel complete?
I do. More than yes.
Danielle, let's wrap up with you. What is your win? What have you struggled with? And what are you implementing this week or on Thanksgiving Day?
My struggle has been the plan. Because I usually just allow like the family just to kind of dictate the day of whatever they want to do, because I generally am the one that's like the drill sergeant. But I am going to implement a plan for myself and then communicate with my family what that plan is, if I need an escape route or if I need 5 minutes to myself. Just because mentally I'm a very extroverted person, but when it's in close quarters and with family, and family is, I love them, but I also need my space from them because they sometimes can get a little nutty for me. So I have to remove myself. So that's my plan also, is to make a plan for Thanksgiving. And then my win this week. I mean, it's work work-wise, I've gotten 2 more clients for my Black Friday sale, so I'm pretty excited about that. And so, so just plugging away, and I feel pretty good. And I'm on the final countdown of not working my 9 to 5 anymore.
Yay.
Nice, nice.
I am so proud of you. I was expecting a voice memo this week. I'm kind of disappointed I just had to hear that here. but I will make sure I
I'm
get it.
sorry. I'm sorry. It's been that crazy.
I love that you're going to create a plan and you're going to communicate it with the family, and that's been your struggle. So you're going to kind of work your struggle into what you're going to implement, and I love that. Any other comments, questions, concerns before I do announcements? I've always learned I probably shouldn't do these at the end, but that's when I think about doing them. So I am on vacation next week. I am fully reachable, but I will be in Arizona hiking in Scottsdale and enjoying some warmer weather because I hear it was 19 degrees this morning. With that being the case, I will, like I said, completely reachable. Our weekly Thursday calls that fall at 3 p.m. There will not be a call on Thursday. It is tentatively that we will have our weekly call on Monday next week at noon Michigan time. There is supposed to be, Mike's supposed to be having a meeting at the same time. And I was trying to connect both our work schedules, the little bit we have to work together. Bye, Danielle.
Bye, baby.
So if we have a call next week, you guys will get an email on Sunday as a reminder, like, hey, call on Monday at noon. If you don't get an email, it's just because something came up and I'm not able to make it, but I will be transparent with you guys and I will let you know. For all of you guys who are in the program, I know I will be going live in the group to tell you this, but if you're in the program's still going on next week. I am fully there for you guys. Nothing changes. I'm just going to be in a different state. That's the only difference, is I won't be in Michigan and I won't be in this workout area. I guess there is one difference. There are no live classes next week, all recordings. So you guys will be getting recordings on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 7 a.m. You click on it, you add it into your calendar when you can access it and do it at whatever time is comfortable for you. So next week you get some flexibility, lucky you guys, after the holiday. And yes.
So those classes, can we do them? Can we click on them as much as we want? And okay, because I wasn't sure on that. If they're only good for 24 hours or how that worked.
Great question. So the Zoom links, there's actually a class tonight for everybody if you want to join at 5:10. So here in about 40 minutes, it is going to be strength training. You just need some weights or some things from soup cans, laundry soap, whatever from around the house you can use. But those Zoom links are the same. Tonight, if you're joining, use the Thursday Zoom link. Any of those on-demand classes, you use those out until you're like, Morgan, I'm tired of hearing your voice, or I'm tired of these 12 workouts. Send me a new one. I will send you a new one because I have over 200 on-demand classes that I just sent you guys 2 months so you could get the gist of it. Bye, Billy.
Bye. Have a great Thanksgiving. Safe
Thank
trip.
you. You too.
Bye.
So on demand, click on them, use them as much as you want.
Okay.
Any questions, concerns before we get off here?
No, thank you.
You are welcome. Thank you guys for being here. I love having people on. I love having people on to talk. I can talk to myself all day, but it's better when I get to talk to others.
Yes, makes it seem less weird. Yeah.
Yeah. The longest I've gone on my own is 40 minutes, and I looked up and realized I should probably get off and stop talking to myself. I'm gonna post in this group, the Get Fit With Me group, another poll for, I've already asked for our movement workshop type of activities. I'm gonna post one for our mental fitness weeks. So I'm gonna throw some ideas in there. You guys kind of vote along, and the one who has the most votes, I will do as our next topic. So kind of think of things, what are you struggling with, especially this time of the year, or what have you been struggling with for a long time? You're like, just please help me.
Mm-hmm.
Write it in there, like it, do it on the poll so that it can make sure that we get it talked about soon. So you guys telling me what you're struggling with helps me actually talk to you about something that matters and is applicable for you, rather than me just talking to talk and sharing all the fun knowledge that I know. Thanksgiving, you guys. I will plan as Monday at noon. If you do not get an email from me, there will be no call. I will make sure to let you know either way, but our next call is supposed to be Monday at noon. I will see you guys then. Happy
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
happy Thanksgiving.